What can we learn from a dishonest steward? Well, actually, quite a bit. So on Sunday, we're going to hear from St. Luke's Gospel. And Jesus tells this parable about a rich man and his steward. So basically, the rich man catches his steward squandering his property. And this was not something very uncommon at the time. Stewards were notorious for being very dishonest people, constantly stealing from their masters. So he was probably guilty. So the steward is kind of going through his options, right? Because he's probably going to get fired. And he starts thinking like, okay, what's next? What am I going to do? And he decides what he's going to do is kind of using a good amount of foresight here. What he's going to do is go to each one of his master's debtors and ingratiate himself with them so that if he does get fired, they might welcome him into their homes. So like take them in, give him a job, that type of thing. So one example of this in the gospel is one of the debtors is in debt to him 100 measures of olive oil. So what this steward does is he's like, okay, here is your promissory note, St. Luke writes. Now go and write one for 50. So that term promissory note, it can kind of throw us off a little bit. So it comes from the Greek, and the Greek word is actually, it means like handwritten document, okay? So the Greek word is hierographon, hand, grapho, to write. So it was basically like the steward's record of how much this particular debtor was in debt to them by, so that he could kind of keep track. So what he does is he gives this back to him. He gives him back this IOU of a certain sense, and he's like, okay, this is canceled. Now you only owe me 50, so it's 50. So how does the debt get reduced? Like, what did he do to reduce the debt by that much? It's an important question. So there's one of two possibilities. Either he was upcharging this guy and he was cheating him by charging him double what he actually owed. So if he only owed 50, now he's basically being honest. It's like, okay, well, actually you only owed 50 instead of 100. Or he's cheating his master again if his master was dutifully owed 100 measures of olive oil. So in either case, I think we have to ask ourselves, because in the next sentence, he's basically, the master commends him for acting prudently. So what's the lesson here? The lesson is, how are we using our earthly resources to plan for our future? This is what this servant did well, is he used what was given to him at his disposal to plan for our future. And how much more should we be planning for our future with what we have on earth? Any more than how should we be planning for our future in heaven, our ultimate goal, the ultimate place of where we're going to be happy and where we hope to be united with Jesus Christ one day. That's where we have to reflect this week. What are we doing? What needs to get redirected in our life? What things have we been giving that maybe we're not using to the best of our ability, in order to reorient them, to rework them, so that it benefits our future in heaven?